as you look back on a career over 100 starts, broken 1,000 points a while ago now, how do you want to be remembered, I guess, in Indiana?
Yeah, it is a tough question, but I think I just want to be remembered as a guy who, you know, despite whatever circumstances that I came across, I tried to do my best, you know, to give the team everything I had and to help the team win it any way I could.
Mike, you want to ask one?
That's it, sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks for your time.
Colin, just how have you kind of balanced just keeping an even keel with all the injuries, just maybe just not having the production you probably wanted this year? How have you kind of just navigated, you know, this season as a whole?
It actually started a lot with my faith, my religion, and just staying focused and focusing on what matters and controlling what you can control. I surrounded myself with a lot of good guys, all these guys here at the table in the program, and good people outside the program. So it's just, you have to be the kind of guy that's going to uplift everybody around you, even if you're not feeling the best or you're not in the best state of mind. So it's just have to stay focused on that.
Is there any way to top last senior day for you?
This one will be much different, short and sweet. Short and sweet.
We'll get back in.
Kind of paraphrasing here, but I remember you were quoted before the season began about your decision to come back. And one of the things you cited was, I think Archie Miller could do some special things here, and I want to be a part of that, a part of the building from the ground up. So what has that been like to watch this team develop under him for this season?
It's been awesome. It's been a journey, and I think that, like you said, as this team has gone on, we've come together and grown together as a team throughout the season, coming together and learning the system and just working through everyday trials and tribulations together. We've grown together and we've become really close, and it's been a fun ride so far, and gonna take it as far as we can.
You talk about growing together, and this could be for anybody, but I mean, you guys are an interesting group in that, I mean, a couple of you weren't here at the very beginning, different classes and stuff. I mean, how have you guys been able to kind of grow together?
Let's start with Josh.
I think just having an open communication. All of us, we've been through so much on and off the court that it kind of just bonded us together. We just stick together no matter what happens.
Tim?
Really just bonding, kind of like Bruce said. I mean, we hang out all the time together outside of basketball, and obviously we see each other every day, and we just, build trust, build communication, and just work together every day. So that's pretty much how.
Okay, Freddie?
Basically what Tim and Josh were saying, just being together every day and going through the ups and downs and just fighting through diversity every day, so it just kept us together.
So in terms of your senior night speeches, do you guys prepare those, write those down, and what kind of stuff do you have to include in that?
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, I just plan to keep it sweet, simple. Just thank the people close to me, and that's it.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna write mine later tonight, and like Bruce said, I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet too. So.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I don't think I'm gonna write anything down. I'll probably just go off the top of my head, whatever I'm thinking. Just try to thank everybody that's been a part of the journey, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, basically just coming from the heart and just thanking everybody that's been with me on this journey. So it's really it.
Yeah, Sam.
That's what OG would have said.
Yeah.
Freddie, you've kind of been through a wild ride, JUCO, and coming here and having two different coaches. And this past season, you've seen a lot of development. Could you have ever perceived the experiences you've had this year with starting a majority of the season?
No, I could just say I just been trusting the process of just getting better every day and keep looking forward, don't look back further. So.
Colin, can you just talk about Rob in terms of how much growth you've seen from him since the beginning to now?
I've been here since Rob got here, and we've actually created a very unique and special bond. We room with each other on a road, always having just great conversations about not just basketball but life and who you want to be as a man, you know, and where you put your priorities. So I really commend him for that, and I thank him for being that person that we can have that connection to have those real talks with about. So thank you for that, Rob. But as a basketball player, the dude is the same dude day in and day out. Still gets up extra shots, works out after practice, every day. Even yesterday. So you're gonna get the same dude every day, and I respect that. And it takes mental toughness and perseverance to be able to come in regardless of the circumstances, and like I said, be the same dude every day. So it's been cool to see him grow, and I think the one thing that he has grown on the most is being more vocal. And I think from year 1 to year 4 for him, that's been the biggest changes. He's taken just leading by example and changed it to leading with his voice as well.
And then Rob, your thoughts on Colin?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, we always, talk. I kind of like to talk to a lot of people on topics other than basketball, because a lot of times, that's always the conversation. And like you said, he's been a guy that I could talk to about things like that. And I think it's helped both of us grow in our faith and just to be better men, period. And basketball-wise, I think he's probably one of the toughest dudes I've ever seen as far as, fighting the injury bug day in and day out. It seems like, he can never catch a break, but at the end of the day, he always tries to bounce back and come back as quick as possible and try to keep the same attitude and give everything he has to the team.
Good, Mike.
Tim, these 4 years, you've kind of been the fan favorite guy, and everyone wants to see in these games. And 20 years from now, how do you kind of sum up your experience just being here these 4 years?
I mean, my 4 years have been great. The fan thing is pretty cool and all that, but I really just want to be remembered as a great guy with a great attitude that tried to help my teammate in any way possible, and just do whatever I can to help us win games.
You ever have a moment there where they're chanting for you at the end of the game and you're thinking, please stop? I mean, or not?
It doesn't bother me, but every time it happens, these guys, they want to look at me and smirk at me and stuff. I'm trying not to laugh at it, but, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, I got 2 questions for him. Josh, when you came here with Pittsburgh, could you have imagined that your college career is going to end up here tomorrow night in Assembly Hall when you came here and had that big game against IU in the Big Ten ACC Challenge? Tell us what you remember about that.
Coming from Pittsburgh to here, I never would have imagined that. So, it's been a long journey. To finally be here after 5 years, it's surreal. So, I don't know.
Okay. And for Tim, Rob, and Colin, first time you wore the uniform, I think Mike and Zach may have been with us, but we went to Canada. And talk about where you were at that time, playing for IU, putting an IU uniform on the first time.
Colin played before.
I was before that.
No, I know, but Colin was there too.
Yeah,
Colin was there too. But talk about that trip in particular, because I think that springboarded that team to making the NCAA tournament that year.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like it was that long ago, to be honest, but I still remember, first putting on the uniform and just, having the feeling of I'm finally here and I'm finally, a college athlete. And I think that's where it all started for all of us, really. Or for me, Tim, and Colin was already here, but I think that springboarded as far as, bonding and getting to know each other while we were up there. That was the first time we had been away, from Bloomington as a group. So I think we bonded with each other, and I think it's been great ever since.
Tim?
It was a pretty cool experience. I wish we could have got to go to Australia or some cool place. But other than that, Canada was a good experience, and like Rob said, that was our first trip together, and it really just brought that first bond in between, us three that were there, and Colin had already been there. He's an old man, Boo's an old man, like he was and the overall experience was cool. I mean, we played, I think, 5 games. We went to a theme park roller coaster thing. We all bonded and then just got to know each other real well.
Colin, you want to talk about that trip?
I mean, they pretty much said it. I mean, when you go on a trip and you don't really know anybody really that well, and you're out and experiencing new things and a new country, I guess. I mean, it feels a lot like the United States, but I mean, you're somewhere else, and it was cool to just be on our own and being away from Bloomington and learning the new guys and just being immersed in the team atmosphere. So yeah, I think it was really good for that team, and I think that it really did help jumpstart that season.
Go ahead, Zach.
Colin, they call you old man, but you actually did commit to this program like 7.5 years ago. Do you ever think back to like that far back, I guess?
It's been a long time ago since I've been around the program. I've been here, obviously. I committed sophomore year, so that was a long time ago. But I just want to say for the record, Josh Newkirk is older than me. I always got to throw that out there. But yeah, man, it's been a long time. It's been a great road, and I don't know if there's very many people that have been a part of the program longer than I have, from commitment to graduation. So I like to maybe claim that. I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, we can call it that.
I'm gonna claim it.
We'll go on the media guy.
Go ahead, Stu.
When each of you guys look back on your IU career to this point, I mean, obviously you still got the Ohio State game and Big Ten tournament next week, but what will you cherish the most about it? Whether it's a moment from practice with each of these guys or other teammates, or pregame shoot around, or something else like the Canada trip. Is there anything that you'll remember especially?
Josh, go ahead and start.
Just being around these guys, day in and day out. Just remembering the summer grinds that we've been through, all the running that we used to do, all the weightlifting. I think that's just the little things like that, going through adversity with these guys. I think that's some of the little things that we'll cherish forever.
I'm gonna cherish everything. Everything here has been a wild ride, and ups, downs. It's all been good for me.
Yeah, same. I think as far as our experiences, we could, get together and talk about a lot of things that we've been through and learned for hours. But something for me that I cherish is the impact that we've had on other people's lives. And I think being here is a special place. You get to inspire a lot of people that you don't come across every day. And for me, I think that's been special.
Well, for me, just coming from junior college and here, I embrace just being here, and I love these guys, love this team, and like Rob was saying, just making an impact on other people's lives and having people watch us day and night, having other people watch us every day, watching us games, and I'm just truly grateful to just being in front of everybody.
I think that what I'll cherish the most is obviously the relationships, but also being from Indiana, wearing Indiana across our chest. It brings a lot of pride, and it humbles me to see how much, coming off what Rob and Freddie were saying, how much it impacts people's lives, how ingrained people are into basketball. It's their culture, it's their lifestyle, and I think that having the impact that we do and the influence that we do, and being able to represent not just the university, not just the program, but you're representing people's lifestyle. And it's humbling, and it's an experience that not a lot of people get to feel. And when you put a bunch of guys like this, like us, from all different kinds of backgrounds, it's cool because we all come together for the same thing. And I think that being able to put together a team like we do in this game, with all these different backgrounds, I think it's a life lesson that we all get to learn and really respect going into life.
I know 4 of you had an opportunity to play for a championship, but Colin and Rob both overcame some big obstacles in that year's NCAA tournament and did something that not many IU teams have done, which is beat Kentucky in the NCAA tournament, get to the Sweet 16. Will you talk about what you're going to take away from that now that you've been away from it and look back on it? And those 2 games were both of you. I know at the Kentucky game you ended up collapsing, you know, your ankle, and then you had surgery. And for you, playing with the broken wrist and hiding it and shoot around, not letting these guys know you're even hurt, and wearing the long sleeve shirt. Just talk about that particular experience, and then we'll end it up.
Yeah, I think that experience and that game in particular really speaks about, you know, me and Colin's career. We pretty much, you know, had a little to give. You know, my ankle was barely holding on, and the same thing with Colin's injuries, but, you know, we still tried to come together and give what we could to help the team win. And as JD said, that's something that's not been done by a lot of, you know, IU teams, and you can't always, there's not a lot of things you can say that about. So to have that experience and accomplishment is big for us.
Yeah, I think what I take from that is just perseverance and just having the love for the team and love for your teammates to want to push through and still give what you got for them. I mean, season's winding down, your body's tired, injuries obviously, and you just want to contribute in some type of way. So you give everything that you got, and I think that's the thing I'll take from it, is just there's always some way you can contribute, and you just got to find that way.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.